Okay, hello. So today I'm going to showcase some new features added to the combat system. So the first thing is some quality of life in the combat editor itself. In the required notifies, now it will showcase the use reaction tag. So you don't have to jump around to just to know, oh, what kind of reaction I use for this animation. And you already know that we can see the animation by selecting the animation here. Now I can know that, hey, this animation uses this reaction, so I can make sure that I do have a reaction for this one in the fighting style here, or in the any other fighting style that should interact with this fighting style. And if I wanted to modify this, I used to double click here and edit it from here. But now you can just press this button and it will give you a window. You can modify your all of the notifies without the need to go to the animation editor itself. Okay, and also previously in the combat system we have the damage amount, which is a constant value that the combat will use it for all the attacks. Now we got the damage override, so let's try to add here damage override. You can see that if the value is 0, then we will use the default value from the combat component, but if we do have a value here, this value will override whatever value in the combat system. So let's say I'm going to give him 20 in this attack, and if I close this one, you can see now it tells you that the reaction tag is this one, and we have a damage override of this one, just to make things easier. Okay, and I think this is everything about the fighting style. Now we can go to the gameplay stuff. And the second feature is the combat or the reaction policy. The reaction policy depends on two things: the honor level and the policies themselves. The honor level means that if the attacker is a lower level than the target, then the target will never play the reaction animation until certain conditions are met. And if something like a boss fight or a high tier enemy, so let's test out. Currently we have a level of 1 and the enemy is level of 1, and let's say I want to, my policy is always react, so that means if I play, it will always react. Okay, but if I said use combat level, which is going to say always use always react if the combat level is proper. So let's say if my combat level is 2, and since this is the parent, this one will be 2. So if they are the same, I will never react because I am the same level, but it will consume some health. Okay, but if the enemy is 1, that means the conditions are met and he will react for getting hit. Okay, you can see that the enemy is damaged, and you can see that the poise also has, we have a percentage for the poise and a percentage for the accumulated damage, so you can present them to the player. Okay, let's see different policies. I want to not always react, but I want to react for some certain accumulated damage values, and I don't want to use the combat level. Okay, the threshold for the combat for the accumulated damage, if I accumulated 40 points, then I will react, and after 2 seconds I will start decreasing or chopping away the accumulated damage with the rate of 0.01 every tick. Okay, so that means if my damage is 10, the damage threshold is 40, that means 4 hits, then the enemy will react. So let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. He will react, and he will keep reacting because the accumulated damage reached the threshold, and it will stay there. After the 2 seconds, it can decrease, and I can wait for the enemy to lose the accumulated damage, and he will become strong again. But if you want, you can say reset after reaction, That means whenever I hit him, you can see that the bar for the accumulated damage will get reset, reacted, and then I will have to. This way you can have a strong enemy that is attacking you, and while you are attacking him, you will have to break his attack by accumulating enough damage before he hits you, something like a boss, as I said, or a high tier enemy. Okay, and then we have the getting hit X times, like I hit you 3 times, then react. That this is ignoring the accumulated damage. It's the same method, but different stuff to look at. It looks here for the damage, here it looks for how many times you hit it, without the look for how much damage is caused. Okay, and I think this is everything for the newest feature in the system. We have some stuff for gas. Currently you can say gas to use the combos using gas abilities, but this is not finished, so mostly use the legacy and wait for the next update for gas. So let's check some gameplay. Yeah, I think I like it more to always. So let's do it like that. You got some blood in the clothing, you got some facial animation, and okay. One thing we need to also talk about is the poise and the stun states. So let's say I chop 20% of the poise every hit to see the enemy going into a stun state. Okay, I think there is something chop away. Oh, this is in the enemy. So in the honor itself, let's say 22. Okay, now I have some low FPS due to me being recording. So the enemy is now in a stun state. You can hit him while he's stunned, and he will die like that. Close his eyes, and you can see the blood everywhere. Okay, this is everything for this video, and probably I'm going to try to wrap up the new sample project that has more advanced combat stuff, some more advanced examples, and also more advanced enemies. I'm currently testing these features, so we don't have any enemies here, but we already have some enemies in the sample project that I'm currently working on. Okay, see you next time.